Welcome all. We know it's our job to put together the AFL All-Stars. First on the agenda is the Ruckman.
So what actually is the Ruckman?
The Ruckman is arguably one of the most important players on the team. They perform the ruck during stoppages and the bounce.
So you may be wondering what the ruck actually is. The ruck is a very important skill that the Ruckman performs. It involves them running up and jumping as high as they can to tap the ball and obtain possession of the ball. They must be really strong because they come up against an opposition player. Here's some examples.
So how do we test the ability of these Ruckmen? We get them to perform a running vertical jump, which is very similar to the action performed while doing the ruck. Here are some examples.
So previously we would have used the running vertical jump as a big indicator as to whether the Ruckman would be best suited for the job. However, this year we're bringing in two of our best sports scientists to conduct some biomechanical analyses on the ruck position.
So tell me what testing you're going to do at the lab.
Okay.
I'll show you.
Okay, for the Ruckmans, we'll be using a 3D and 2D analysis of the running vertical jump. We'll be using a variety of equipment such as a force plate to capture ground reaction forces, the latest camera technology, reflective markers on the important joints to capture joint angles, the vertex, and we'll be capturing the movements in the sagittal and frontal planes.
So it's important when the athletes come into our lab, they perform a 5-minute warm-up consisting of dynamic movements and stretches. They also need to be wearing minimal lightweight clothing and appropriate footwear to perform the test. So when they do the test, they'll perform it 3 times, and from that we will gather their best score. With the 3 jumps as well, we will analyse that data using Canova. And then once the test is done, the athlete will perform a cool down just to ensure that they're following safe practices and they are keeping themselves safe.
We will obtain highly accurate measurements and data using Canova and force plate data. We will use this to compare and discuss accordingly. The variables that will be measured are
Acceleration!
takeoff velocity,
Impulse.
momentum,
Flight time.
Great, but what will be the impact of this analysis and testing for our football club?
For this testing process, we can determine the body strength required.
Strength is absolutely vital for Ruckmen, as when they run up for the ruck, they have to use their strength to body off their opponent and obtain possession of the ball. To increase strength, you can perform resistance training.
Calculate and improve power and jump height.
Power is another extremely vital component for a Ruckman. They must use their power through their legs to lift up into the air and obtain maximal jump height to reach the ball at maximal height.
And we will be able to perceive potential injuries and improve technique.
It's very important for rucks to have very good technique when performing the ruck. This is because the amount of compression and loading on their joints can be very harmful.
Right, the plan sounds excellent. I expect to see results within the next week.